Trying to get used to these friggin' picks. They're not so easy. I just ordered some new ones yesterday because I think these are brass. And maybe a different set, maybe made of nickel, will make it easier for me to get used to these friggin' things. Because, it's just hard to play this freaking banjo, this thing on my hands. And you see, I'm supposed to keep these 2 fingers planted. But it's like I can't get the other 3 close enough to the string without hitting it with these 2 planted fingers. If I don't have these on, actually the thumb pick's not a problem. I'll try it, see if I do it without. Someday I'll get the hang of this. But anyway, I just wanted to pop on here and talk a little bit, not about the banjo, as fun as it is to play. And I am actually finding that playing the banjo is helping with the guitar. And also, it's kind of cool because I'm finding that 5 or 6 years, it'll be 6 years in May. When I started playing guitar, it was not so easy for me to play the guitar. Like I am right now with the banjo. And now I can pick up the guitar, and although you may not see it when I play it on YouTube, I can actually play some songs. If I'm not trying to sing or look in a camera or read music or read lyrics when I'm playing, I can actually kind of eke out some music. And the other day, Glenn of Double G Studios or Videos, sorry Glenn, the other day he was showing off some new gear that he got. He got a new guitar, and he started playing Nights in White Satin. And I was like, that would not be a hard song to play, because I actually have a really good ear, and I could tell that these were easy chords. So I picked up my guitar, and I started playing Nights in White Satin, and it really was nothing. I think there's 1 bar chord in that song. It's an F. And if you know how to play the little F, which I do all too well, you don't even have to play the F. But I've gotten to the point where I can play the F. So that's a good thing. And I even got into watching a lesson on YouTube. I kind of got burned out on guitar lessons, so I quit watching guitar lesson videos and just started playing on chord of 5. And I decided I wanted to bone up on finger picking because I'm really terrible at it. And I really need to learn that if I'm going to play the banjo. So I did, and I found a couple of other really good content creators on YouTube. Speaking of content creators, earlier today I was trying to make a video because I had something I wanted to say, but it just wasn't coming off right because there's just too many things I want to say and not enough time, and most people are not going to make it to the end of the video. But I wanted to give a shout out to a YouTube creator called Dave Johnson. He lives in Australia. I believe he's American. He does channeling. Now, I gave up on church a long time ago. I was raised Christian, went to church every weekend. I was forced. But I find that I get so much more of a message from somebody like Dave than I ever did listening to a pastor. I know this isn't true for everyone, but for me it was. He had some really good things, hopeful things to say about what's been happening lately. I'm as distressed as anyone is. In fact, I'm probably more distressed in some ways. Because what Trump is doing right now affects a lot. I don't live in the U.S. right now. I live in a NATO EU country. So his decision to threaten Greenland, that is a threat on several levels to those of us who are Americans living over here in Europe. I can only hope that they're going to be more reasonable than Trump has been. But anyway, in his latest video, which I think was very hard for him to make, because he was quite upset, as we all were, about what's been going on, he was explaining, and this is something that I have noticed too, we have to go through this. We have to go through this crap right now. First off, what is going on right now is something that has happened over and over again throughout history. And it's certainly happened where I'm living now. Can't go a day without thinking of Hitler in Germany. But it's our turn. Trump is, unfortunately, our answer to that. And one thing to remember is that it is going to pass. And that's what this morning's parody was about. It will pass. And with it, there will be changes. And I think some of them are going to be very good and very necessary changes. As much as I wish that Kamala had won, I also realize that if she had won, things would just keep going the way they've been going for decades. Because of what's going on now, I think there will be some changes. And they are very good and necessary changes. Kind of like me and the banjo, right? Right now it's not easy to play, but there'll come a time when it is. And there'll come a time when all of this shit is going to be over. It will be over no matter what, because none of us gets out of this life alive. So, that is my message of wisdom for today. It's 10 o'clock, and it's a sunny day and not too cold today. I've already had one person decide they were going to start shit with me. My cousin, he is, I've mentioned him before. He is liberal, kind of. Liberal in terms of the types of people that we've grown up around. But he has a lot of conservative friends. And he's been posting a lot of anti-Trump stuff. His friends come out and argue with him. And I don't often comment on his page because I really don't like interacting with these people. They waste my time. They piss me off. But I did recently. He posted about the Cheeto in Chief, right? And I left a comment, and this morning I got a response from one of my cousin's friends who says, "Why are you bringing up Bill Clinton?" And I was like, "Why are you so willfully ignorant?" "Oh, you are funny." I'm like, "Well, I'd rather be funny than a pedophile worshiper like you." And then she comes back with more, and I said, "You're wasting my time with your stupidity. Leave me alone." And of course they never can, because they don't have any boundary respect. Just like their dear leader. They can't respect boundaries. So of course she went on my block list. I just don't have the time or the bandwidth or the energy to deal with these people. If you're fine with what's happening in Minneapolis right now, and the fact that Trump has completely lost it, and he is now threatening countries on several continents. I don't think he's hit Australia or Antarctica yet, but it's coming. Because I think that he will eventually decide he wants Antarctica. I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy or the stamina or the patience or the bandwidth for it. So I can't even make a fucking comment to my cousin without these morons coming on deciding they want to have a little sparring with me. I don't have time for it. I've got Banjo to learn, right? So, anyway. If you listened all the way to the end, thank you. Thank you for hearing me. And I'm going to sign off now because you don't have the bandwidth to listen to me anymore. So, ciao.